Welcome back to English Podcast Time, everyone. I'm Mark.
And I'm Deb. So glad to have you join us for what promises to be, a really engaging episode today.
Absolutely, Deb. This is episode 8 of English Podcast Time, and today we're diving into a topic that I think is just so crucial for anyone looking to really improve their English fluency and confidence: engaging storytelling. How to talk about your day.
Oh, I love this. It sounds simple, right? Like, just talk about your day. But mastering this skill, it's not just small talk. It's a powerful way to practice all sorts of tenses, expand your vocabulary, and honestly connect with people on a deeper level.
Exactly. And that's what this guide we're drawing from is all about. It helps you take those, seemingly ordinary daily routines and turn them into something genuinely interesting. It's about using the right vocabulary, those little idioms, and effective storytelling techniques.
Yeah, because nobody wants to hear just a list of things you did. Like, I woke up, I ate breakfast, I went to work. That's not a story, is it?
No, definitely not. And that brings us to point number 1, the structure of a good daily story. The guide emphasizes using the simple past and also, the present perfect. Like, you want to start with when the day began, something like, this morning I.
Right, so you set the scene, and then it's all about moving chronologically. Like, then I went to, or, after that I did XYZ. It makes sense. It's a natural flow.
And a really key part, which I think a lot of people miss, is ending with some kind of reflection or a future plan. So instead of just, and then I came home, you add, I'm planning to, or I realized that. It gives it a sense of completion.
That's so true. It really elevates it beyond just a recap. And speaking of structure, the guide talks about a story arc for conversations, which, it's really helpful. You start with the beginning, setting the time and place.
And then the middle, which is where you highlight maybe 2 or 3 key moments. Not everything, just the significant bits that made the day interesting.
Oh, wait, the guide actually says highlight 2 or 3 meaningful moments.
Oh, did it say 2 or 3? I thought it said, highlight key moments. Let me just double check here. Oh, actually, it says highlight 1 to 2 key moments for the what not to say section. But for the story arc, it says 1 to 2 key moments. That's interesting. I mean, the point is it's not every single detail. It's about being selective.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the end is where you share a thought, a feeling, or, like you said, a future plan. It's about the emotional connection, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the so what part of your story. Now, moving on to something super practical, useful vocabulary and phrases, because you need the words to tell the story, right? The guide breaks it down by context, which is really helpful.
It is. So, for example, for your morning routine, instead of just, I got up, you can say things like, I woke up, or I got ready. And if you're like me, sometimes you might skip breakfast, or, you just took a shower.
Yeah, those little details make it richer. And then for work or school, you might say, I logged in, or I attended a meeting, which is, way better than just I went to work. Or even I submitted an assignment. It's just more precise.
Exactly. And then for errands, maybe you dropped by someone's place, or you picked up groceries. And my personal favorite, I ran into someone. That always makes for a good story.
Oh yeah, running into someone is a classic. And then, of course, emotions are huge. You want to convey how you felt. So instead of, I felt good, you might say, I felt relieved, or I was thrilled. Or if things didn't go so well, I got frustrated. That adds so much depth, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. It's the difference between a factual report and a living, breathing story. And to help with that flow, we definitely need linking words and transition phrases. The guide has some great examples.
It does. For time order, the basics: first, next, after that, then, finally. These are your building blocks for chronology.
And then for cause and effect, you've got because, so, and as a result. These help explain why things happened, not just that they did. Like, I was tired, so I went to bed early.
Or for contrast, however, or on the other hand, these are excellent for, showing different perspectives or unexpected turns. Like, it was raining, however, we still decided to go for a walk.
And for reflection, which we talked about as being super important, phrases like, it made me realize, or looking back, I think, these cues really tell your listener, hey, I'm about to share a deeper thought here.
Absolutely. And to make your story truly natural, you really want to pepper in some idioms. They just, they give your English that authentic sound. The guide lists some really common ones.
Yeah, like call it a day. This means to stop working. So you could say, after 4 hours of cleaning, I finally called it a day. It just sounds so much more idiomatic.
It does. Or on cloud 9, that means extremely happy. I was on cloud 9 after getting the job. It paints a much clearer picture of your emotion than just, I was very happy.
And a classic, a piece of cake, meaning, something that was very easy. The exam was a piece of cake.
Or the opposite, bite the bullet. That's when you have to do something difficult, but you just, you gotta get through it. I finally bit the bullet and saw the dentist. Ugh.
Oh no, I hate that one, but it's true. And then we mentioned it earlier, run into, which means to meet unexpectedly. I ran into an old friend at the cafe. So much better than I saw my old friend at the cafe unexpectedly.
These idioms, they breathe life into your narrative, right? Now, on the flip side, the guide also has some really important advice on what not to say. And this is crucial for engaging storytelling.
Oh yeah. Number 1, avoid listing every single activity. Like, then I ate, then I walked, then I sat. It's just boring, It's like watching paint dry.
Right. And related to that, avoid using too many fillers if you can help it. While we use them naturally, if it's too much, it becomes distracting. We want to sound natural, but not, excessively so.
Yeah, balance is key. And please, please, please don't be overly vague. Don't just say, it was okay, I did stuff. That gives your listener absolutely nothing to work with.
Exactly. Instead, the guide says, choose 2 or 3 meaningful moments. Focus on those. Add emotion or reflection. That's what makes it interesting.
And use details and dialogue, recount a little conversation you had or describe a sensory detail. That makes your listener feel like they were there with you.
Right. It brings the story to life. And for those of you preparing for speaking exams like CELPIP, IELTS, or TOEFL, these tips are gold. Practice out loud. Record yourself. Deb, that's how I often catch my own verbal tics.
Me too. And stick to one theme. Don't jump around. If you're talking about your most productive day, stay focused on that. And practice common questions like, tell me about your day, or describe a recent routine.
Use your daily story as a 10-minute speaking warm-up. It's such a flexible topic, and it allows you to hit so many different grammar points and vocabulary.
It really does. So for a practice activity, the guide suggests writing or recording a story about my most productive day last week, or, start with something like, I thought today would be boring, but then...
Yeah, and challenge yourself to include at least 3 linking phrases and 1 idiom. That's a great way to integrate what we've talked about today.
Honestly, talking about your day in English isn't just small talk. It's a powerful way to practice tenses, expand your vocabulary, and truly connect with others.
It really is. With just a little bit of structure and some creativity, you can absolutely turn an average day into a memorable conversation.
So give it a try this week. Tell someone about your day, but make it a story.
Yeah, and let us know how it goes. That's all for this episode of English Podcast Time. Thanks for tuning in to episode 8.
We hope these tips help you become a more engaging storyteller. We'll be back next time with more English insights. Until then, keep practicing.
Bye for now.
See ya.